Good evening everyone and welcome to TTFL Season 5 Round 5 here at the home of British Motorsport. It is of course the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit. We are going to be taking in the Grand Prix layout as per usual in F1. I'd like to apologise in advance. There are currently thunderstorms around the vicinity of where I live, so I do apologise if you do hear anything or if the power cuts out, then you know the reason why. But I am here, I'm JimsHead14. If you're unfamiliar with who I am, I'm taking over from Malk once again. We wish Malk well in whatever he is doing. He's been busy with work, obviously, in the last opportunity to welcome you all to TTFL and Season 5 Round 4 standings. Of course, we had France. Sinclair won last week in a very, very great race. I've got to say so myself. A fantastic race. From Sinclair, he drove really well. He is now third in the championship after that, and I'm going to take you through the driver's standings now as we get prepared for the lights to go out and qualifying to begin very shortly. Siege on 87 points, followed by Lyronix on 55 and Sinclair on 53. That is your top three. Bishy is in 4th on 42, with Mays in 5th on 30, Fate in 6th on 29, Maximus in 7th on 25, Crazy Legs in 8th on 20. Welcome to the Academy team before I forget Crazy Legs. Fantastic to have him in as a new signing. White in 9th on 15. Glad to see he is here tonight as well. And Kiki in 10th on 12 points. We've also got Uzi on 10. We've got Alan K on 8, Jeffrey on 8, Conti Boy on 4, Charlie and S. Graham all on 1 point as well. We are about to begin 20 seconds till qualifying starts, so we should get the action underway. The constructors standings is as follows, for anyone that does want to know the constructors. Renault is still out in front on 117 points, bridging that gap out to 54 points. Racing Point in 2nd on 63, Toro in 53, McLaren in 4th on 43, then Alfa Romeo on 39, Ferrari on 37, Haas on 35, Mercedes on 12, Red Bull on 1 point after S. Graham's score last week, and Williams in predictably 0 points for the season. Hopefully that might change tonight, whoever is in the Williams, and it is very good to see plenty of drivers here. We've got 17 drivers turning out for TTFL, which is fantastic. Great attendance. Thank you very much for attending. This is my first chance to engage with you in the comment section. Let me have a look at what the comments are saying. I don't want to hear myself again. Storm says good evening. Good evening to Storm. Hello and good evening, mate. Good to see you again, says Jeffrey. Good to see you too as well, Jeffrey. Lyronix, of course, not here tonight. In fact, he is here tonight. What am I on about? He is here tonight. Fantastic to see, because, I mean, me and Kevin won about on Tuesday how he was having leg surgery on Monday, and this is unbelievable. Having leg surgery on Monday and then turning back on Friday, a 4-day turnaround to from an injury that has been sustained to drive here. You must be absolutely mad. But Lyronix is very determined, trust me. And I think it's absolutely fantastic to see. Jeffrey saying good luck to everyone as well. Let's make it a wonderful race. Storm also saying along the lines of that, hope we have a good clean race with good battles, and I'm sure we will. Mays saying dry, and Alan K also saying dry as well. Mays beating Alan K there to the punch. We are about to get started for on-track action. I'm just going to have a flick through to see if anybody is out on track. We have got the first cars coming out, and it looks like Bishy to come out on track. He is indeed. He's on a set of medium compound of tyres. As is familiar with most of the Grand Prix here in Formula 1, there are 3 compounds of tyres. We've got the soft, the red wall tyre, which you're seeing Crazy Legs on actually. There he is on the red wall tyre, just coming through the village section of the track. Bishy on the set mediums, which is the medium compound of tyre, now separated with the yellow wall compound. It used to be, of course, the soft compound. Red used to be the super softs, of course, and then white wall tyres are the hard compound of tyres, which is the slowest tyre, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a few people going out on this early on. And we are about a minute and a half through this session so far. Hopefully everyone keeping well out on track, and I wish everyone the best possible luck here tonight in TTFL. And I've just noticed I haven't got any game sound. I have not got any game sound coming through. This is a problem. That's all on 10. I'm going to reset it to default and then turn it back up and see what happens. No, I think I've fallen short of the sound glitch. Right, I'm going to have to quit multiplayer and go back in. I have got a spare invite from Alan K. I do apologise about this. Of course, I do want to provide you with sound. You don't want to hear my voice talking all over. Yeah, I do apologise. I couldn't hear the sound myself. So something clearly going on there. My F1 update is clearly messed up. So just coming in to get and have a look. Right, I've got the invite, spare invite, and we should be back into the session any second now, and hopefully this fixes itself. I'll wait for everyone's names to, in fact I'll go straight into spectate mode. Everyone's names will come up in due course. And again, I do apologise about the no audio sound. There has been other leagues that have been falling short of this as well, so it's really not great to have audio issues. I mean, come on, get yourself sorted out. I mean, how long's the game been out now? A month? 2 months? Ridiculous. There we go, we've got game sound. Bishy is on a lap in the meantime. I think that's, in fact that's not Bishy, there's Bishy. He's just coming through Mackerton Beckett. You will have to bear with, there are no names on my screen. This is definitely Bishy, he was the first one out on track of course. Through the middle sector, I can't tell you what the middle sector is. As he's on a medium set of tyres, coming down towards Stowe, the right-hander now at turn 14, then through Vale, on the run down into Vale now, going past a Ferrari there on the left-hand side of the track, just about to begin his lap, whoever that is. Bishy on a lap, about to finish. He's on a set of mediums, remember, 28.7, goes top of the leaderboard for now. There is Crazy Legs just coming across, and he's set to 28.4. Fantastic lap from him. He's on a set of softs. He's only 3 tenths ahead. 3.5 tenths nearly ahead of the driver, which is Bishy. There is a bit of lag going on somebody's end. That is a McLaren that was just lagging. I do apologise. I'm not sure who is out on a lap. This Williams is out on a lap. As I say, the name glitch should fix itself. If it doesn't, then there's all sorts of problems going to be happening here. Goes across the line. I think that might have been George actually on the 31.3. So George on a 31.3. I'm thinking it's George, at least. It might be, it might not be. You never know. But nearly 5 minutes into qualifying, there's a Renault going onto the grass. That was Siege. And there's the names back. So we've got Pretty Legs on top with a 28.4. Bishy in second with a 28.7. Uzi, the Scotsman, with a 28.9 in third currently, with PNG in fourth on 29.4 and Charlie in fifth on a 29.5. Let's focus then on somebody that is on a lap, and it's TTG White that is on a lap. 103.7 through the middle sector, very quick through the middle sector there, on the run down now, on the hanger straight down towards Stowe and into Vale. Of course, there are 3 different layouts to this track that we've got, and White in fact is coming into the pit. We've got Alan K not on a lap, and in fact he's picked up damage I think on that right side end plate, which is a shame. Just seeing who else is on a lap. S. Graham is into the pits. Jeffrey on a lap, just coming through Brooklands and into Luffield there. Conti Boy is on a lap, the Dutchman. Let's see how he's getting on. 104 through the middle sector for Conti Boy. The other Alfa Romeo, of course, teaming up with Crazy Legs, who's currently top of the session with a 28.4. We are nearly 6 minutes, 1/3 through qualifying, and Conti Boy coming through Club now. On the run through the final couple of corners, and Conti Boy looking good on this lap. 29.1 goes into fourth, goes ahead of PNG by 2.5 tenths there, so not a bad lap there at all from the driver there, Conti Boy. Let's see who else is on a lap. I think we've got Siege on a lap. We have Maximus on an out lap, not sure where that is. That is a village. Going off track there. Got Alan K on a lap, got Suarez in the final corner. Next is Suarez, of course, a recent addition to TTFL. Fantastic to have him back, of course, formerly of TTG, and now running under the Nexus Esports ownership. And I've got to say, we welcome any esports team into the TTG leagues, and of course, I'm hoping as Academy Manager to focus on other things, possibly entering some of the guys into leagues, given their schedules. But Siege is on a lap, 103. 26.6 at the minute. We haven't had lap times from the big guys yet. Sinclair, White, Nexus Suarez amongst them. Lyronix on a 44.8 as well. He's going 12 seconds quicker going through Maggots and Beckett. There's a yellow flag in sector 2. But Siege, I think, is going to go top of the leaderboard here with a great lap across the line. 27.5. Fantastic lap from Siege. And that is what you like to see from Siege. 27.5 throws the gauntlet down as we are nearly approaching halfway in qualifying here. 27.5, his quickest lap in the Renault. And of course his teammate this week, of course, is Mays. That's Nexus Suarez off the track. That looks like it's on the run down towards Maggots and Beckett. It is. Nexus Suarez off track there. Alan Kay not on a lap. Sinclair has just begun a lap. Of course, last week's race winner in France at the Circuit Paul Ricard. Sinclair now through the first sector. That is through Aintree, the loop, and through Aintree, and now onto the Wellington Straight. Running down, of course, this is part of the international track, this straight as well. And of course, the old start-finish straight is where the British touring cars, in fact, start their races when they're going to be coming in. Of course, they've got a double header next season in 2020. But the Scotsman on a great lap here so far through the first sector. Now I've got a yellow flag in sector 3. I'd imagine that would be Nexus Suarez or Alan Kay, somebody like that. Sinclair through Cops, taking an 85, a bit of a feathering of the throttle there. We'll see if drivers decide to go up to 8th gear, and he does. Sinclair decides to go into 8th gear. I prefer a very high 7th gear. You do get the traction running through the corner, you don't get a wide exit like what Sinclair had, but a 102.9, that's the fastest we've seen so far tonight. We are nearly halfway through. There's Alan Kay off in the background, so it was one of the drivers that I mentioned that was off in the background. That was on the exit of Beckett and on the run down towards the Chapel Curve and the Hanger Straight. But Sinclair looks like he's going to be going top of the pile. It could even be a 26 here from Sinclair. Running up towards the line now. Sinclair, 26.6. Puts it to Siege, and he needs to respond. We're halfway through qualifying, and Sinclair on top with a 26.6. Followed by Siege with a 27.5 and Crazy Legs in third on a 28.4. And for those statisticians out there, I was just about to say it was a TTG 1, 2, 3, 4. It's still a TTG 1, 2, 3, but Maximus has just came in with a 28.5, and he's the second quickest out of the guys that are currently out on the medium compound of tyre. One-stop strategy, I think, is certainly going to be doable here, especially if you just decide to start on the medium compound of tyre and then decide to go hard quite early on in the race. There we go. But Sinclair on top of this session at this stage. Let's focus then on somebody else as on a lap. Lyronix didn't get that 12 seconds quicker lap in. However, we've just had a lap in from White. 27.1 in the Red Bull. Very low fuel run there from White, I think. 8 minutes to go, he sticks himself up into second. He'll be hoping that the other Red Bull tonight does pull his weight a lot. And that, of course, is, I do believe, S. Graham in the Red Bull. Might be wrong there. But Mays is on a lap. No, he's not. I think he's invalidated somewhere, Mays. There's a lot of lag here. I'm not sure if it's being picked up on the stream. I have got my Wi-Fi on, so that might explain things. Predictions for Storm, saying Sinclair, Siege and White. Very interesting there. Kieran had to rejoin yesterday. Yeah, I think it's the new patch that's causing a bit of problems with the audio, especially when you go into a lobby. I think it's only for unranked though, I've heard about that. And Maximus saying, James, what do you predict for my race? Spin or finish with good points? I'd say good points finish tonight. As we see Lyronix through the first sector, recently back from injury. Unbelievable to see him even here tonight, never mind in 13th place with a 44.8 and getting a clean lap in. Let's see how he's going to run through Cops. We'll run down towards Cops now. He's on his medium set of compound of tyre, of course our captain for the TTG F1 squad. Pedaling off the throttle, I know he can put a little bit more throttle there, but Lyronix looking good at this stage through Maggots and Beckett's. Then through the Chapel Curve and onto the Hanger Straight. Let's see what he's like through the middle sector. Not going to be as quick as the guys, but his pace has not diminished somewhat. So 103.7 through the middle sector, which is a very good sector. I would imagine he'll go in between White and Siege with this lap. 27.3 I think might be his theoretical best here. Lyronix now through the final couple of corners at the club section. Lyronix Attacking the curbs nicely, coming across the line. It's going to be slower than the 27.3 to 27.6. He drops in behind Siege by about a tenth of a second, and it makes it a TTG 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with Sinclair, White, Siege, Lyronics and Crazy Legs, the current top 5. Next to Suarez is on the lap. Just going to pick on board with Mays though. He's just ahead of him out on track coming through Luffield, and now running down towards Koff, which of course in real life F1 you can take that out, especially if you're on a set of pressure compounded tyres, so if you go on a set of softs in the race. But Mays on the lap, 34.7, he'll easily improve this. We'll see improvements I would expect from Jeffrey, George, Charlie, PNG, going up to around 10th place there as well, and the guys below. But Mays on a lap, it's a 104.4 through the middle sector. Of course, Mays, I've been in conversation with him about a possible sign as we lose Uzi out of the qualifying session with 5 minutes to go. That was not done in the pit lane. There was a yellow flag in sector 3, so I'm guessing he will have lost that at Cops all through Maggots and Beckett. I'm expecting George getting out of the way, which is good to see. Good sportsmanship shown there. Mays about to come across the line. He's going to go 7th, just ahead of Bishy with that lap. And I think we've had an improvement from Siege as well, just in behind. Siege has improved with a 26.8, and he goes 2nd on a set of softs. Not as quick as Sinclair though. Sinclair currently has it by 1 3/4 tenths at this stage. Let's then focus on that Nexus Suarez lap. In fact, he's just finished his lap with a 28.4, and he has gone 6th with that lap, so a good lap there by the Spaniard, and it's good to see. He is 2nd quickest of the guys that were on a medium compound of tyre. 4 minutes and 25 seconds left roughly, and Sinclair, Siege and White are your current top 3 in qualifying at this stage. And I do believe there is a massive thunderstorm coming. I can see it from my house, so there might be some disruption on the mic. Let's just say, hopefully it doesn't happen and it all fades away and dies to death. I'm expecting it to, and in fact it even is, because I've just checked there as well. But Bishy on a lap. He's on a set of hards. He does normally do this within his qualifying sessions. I've seen him before go from a set of mediums to a set of hards. In fact, I'll turn off my Wi-Fi again, because that was clearly causing some problems with the stream. In fact, it might be Bishy. Of course, he does lag a lot. Bishy through the middle sector, 104.2. He is 400ths up, so he is improving actually on a set of hards compared to his lap on a set of mediums. Maybe he's going to go ahead of Jeffrey and Mays in this lap. Very close, by the way, between 5th down to 12th, and in fact Bishy must have just invalidated that because he's straight into the pit to try and get another lap in. Alan Kay, however, is through the final couple of corners at Club, and he's coming through the line now to go ahead of George by 6/10 of a second. Good lap there by the Irishman. 29.8. There is a stark difference in the timings, but you've got to say that was a clean lap from Alan Kay. Esquim taking a very deep line through the corner. Do not take that line at all. You want to be going wide out and then deep into the corner at the final corner, turn 18 at 29.7. I think he would have improved that slightly if he decided to use that line that I've just suggested. Hopefully S. Graham might be watching. He'll take that line in the race. Who else is on a lap? Maximus on a lap at the stage. Hasn't spun yet, which is good to see. He is on a set of soft compound of tyres now. We should be seeing an improvement in the first sector here, and it's a 28.3 and he's 6/10 down, so he must have invalidated here actually, Maximus now through that is Brooklands and through Luffield. I'm just trying to flick through to see anybody on a lap. I think George is on a lap. He's improving 3/10, could possibly go ahead of Alan Kay here. Of course, the wooden spoon looking likely at the minute for George in qualifying. Hopefully he doesn't want to continue that up in the race. We've got 2 minutes to go, so everyone's going to get a pit very shortly if they do want to get at least one more lap in. George across the line. He doesn't improve on that lap time. He was nearly 4/10 up. He's lost 7/10 in that final sector there, and it's not an improvement from George. He'd be disappointed with that, I think. S. Graham is on a lap. He's got 1% ERS down into Stowe. That's me. 1% ERS down into Stowe. I think he might be coming into the pits. He is going to come into the pit and relinquishes his lap. I don't think he was improving anyways. Jeffrey is through the middle sector. Maximus, of course, just preparing for that. We'll go on board with Jeffrey then, the Dutchman, out of Luffield. And then the run down towards the hangar straight. On the hangar straight, down towards Cops, I should say. And he has invalidated, I think, this lap, and he has slowed it. So Jeffrey has invalidated as well. So that means we can now focus on Maximus, who was on a lap, and he's through the first couple of corners and now into the village section, then into Aintree. And Maximus looking good through the first sector here. The soft compound of tyres is on his car, and the Haas looking to improve on that 7th position currently in qualifying. 28.5 is his current theoretical best, or his current personal best. His theoretical best though, and he's already up by nearly 0.3 of a second through that first sector. It's a very good improvement through the first sector there from Maximus. 28.5. Currently, theoretically, that'll put him 5th. I think if he does improve, could be possibly challenging White and Lyronics, I would expect from here. But Sinclair, Siege, White, Lyronics still your top 4. Jeffrey is retired at the session. Also retired that out on track. Of course, we did see him going slow. Maximus through Maggots and Beckett's now, however, and then onto the hanger straight. This is looking good for Maximus. It's looking a very clean lap, 103.8. He's nearly 0.5 up. He's got to find something in this final sector if he wants to try and think about challenging Lyronics, who in fact is not going to be coming out for another lap. We haven't got S. Graham, we haven't got Alan Kane, we haven't got George out on a lap either. There's going to be plenty of improvements. Fasten your seatbelts because there's going to be a lot happening. As I just clicked to the wrong person by mistake. Maximus now through the final corner on the run to the line. Then Conti Boy has just gone up there. Conti Boy has gone 5th and Maximus goes 6th. So both on a 27.9, but it's Conti Boy that gets it by 400ths from Maximus. Of course, laps can change. Charlie has jumped himself up to 7th as well, 4,000 ahead of Crazy Legs at this stage. And Crazy Legs is on a lap through the middle sector. I just want to pick out on any of the main contenders. We'll go Crazy Legs, Sinclair, White and Siege, I think, is the order we'll go in. Crazy Legs then, through the final couple of corners. No improvements anywhere down. Maze has gone 10th, I think, ahead of Jeffrey. Crazy Legs across the line. Good improvement there, and he goes ahead of Conti Boy. Maze has left the session. Sinclair improves with a 26.4. Good lap. Siege is into the pits. White is the only one that can interfere on his pole position here. Sinclair on a 26.4. White coming around the final corner. It's not going to be an improvement. It's a 26.5. He goes close, but not close enough. And it is Sinclair that is on top at this stage. Next to Suarez goes 4th with a 27.3. Great lap from him, the Spaniard. But it's Sinclair with a 26.4. White with a 26.5. And Siege with a 26.8, who is your top 3 in qualifying. We're just waiting for Charlie to retire from the session. Suarez, Lyronics, Crazy Legs, Conti Boy, Maximus, Charlie and Maze is your top 10. Hopefully we can get Maze back in. Jeffrey, Bishy, Uzi, PNG, S. Graham, Alan K and George is your top 17 there. And it will be interesting to see, especially Bishy starting on a set of mediums. I think he'll try to go maybe the softest strategy, the hardest strategy possible. So he could go on a set of hards here. You see Suarez's AI collide with White there. Just waiting on Charlie to retire from the session, as I say, and let's have a check on the comment section, see what you guys are saying here tonight in TTFL. And I do appreciate, of course, the support in the comment section. If you do have anything to say, if you want to ask me a question, go ahead, do so. Of course, fellow people watching, thank you very much for your support. And of course, the home of British Motorsport will throw up a very good race indeed. Storm's saying stream looks okay now, we're stopping at the start. That was probably because of my connection. I'll give you the full rundown of the order though. Sinclair on top with a 26.4, with White starting on the front row of the grid with 26.5. Siege and Suarez starting 3rd and 4th, and it's Lyronics, Crazy Legs, Conti Boy, Maximus, Charlie and Maze, the current top 10. Watch out for Lyronics, Charlie on the medium compound of tyres in that top 10. Jeffrey, Bishy, Uzi, PNG, S. Graham, Alan K and George, the whole field separated by just under 4 seconds from top to bottom. Very good indeed. And it'll be interesting to see, as I say, the strategies that everyone will go on from 11th downwards. See what strategies they do go on. Martin coming in and saying Lyronics, Sinclair and Siege maybe for your top 3. Sadly, Lyronics has had a leg injury, so he is carrying that with him, and he has had recent leg surgery, so he is carrying that with him. So I'd just be very tentative making any sort of discussion on that. We haven't had anything from Maze, by the way. He is not appearing on my screen on the right-hand side, so I think we are going to be going without him, which is a shame. And looking like typical British weather, it looks very overcast out on track. Liam saying good evening, and Lyronix even coming in and saying it's going to be a very difficult race. I think it will be. You have got a very clean top 3 there, and even further down you could see a shock tonight, to be honest, from the bottom half of the grid. Certainly, I would say from the bottom half of the top 10 you will see some sort of shock in the podiums. But as we go out onto the track, the formation lap has just begun. Very concerned there that my sound had gone off again, but we're all fine. Yes, we are, we're all fine. I can hear my sound, it's fine. But Sinclair, obviously, top 10 starting to go, top 9 I should say, obviously going on the set that they qualified on. Jeffrey, Bishy, Alan Kay all going for a set of medium compound tyres. I think they've picked the right strategy there. You can make it, I think, around 10 or 11 laps, and then pit in for a set of hards, which I think will make you go to the end, and the one-stop strategy and the undercut, very potent around here, so be aware that the undercut is quite potent. PNG, however, starting 14th, he's on a set of hard compounded tyres, so he'll be hoping to go quite deep into this race, more than halfway through this race than from PNG, and then he'll decide to go on to a set of mediums I would expect from lap 15, roughly, 14, 15, somewhere around there. I would expect for PNG. But, and also, just to pick up, Uzi, S. Graham and George all on a set of soft compound tyres. So differing strategies there in the bottom half of the field, as I say, from 11th downwards, picking different strategies. Sinclair looking very quick, almost like a Max Verstappen outlap here. Max Verstappen formation lap, I should say. Everyone getting their tyres up to temperature, of course. Do predict your top 3 in the comment section. I'll read out, of course, the best ones. I will give you a top 3 prediction right now and say that White is going to get the win. I think Sinclair is going to be second. And I'm going to pinpoint them down. I think Siege is going to finish third. I think we're not going to see much of a top 3 change there. I really think that top 3 is probably the best you'll get. Next to Suarez, of course, can come into this. Lyronix, quick as he could probably outdo these on his day, but of course carrying his injury, carrying his recent leg surgery with him, it is a cause of concern if you are a Lyronix. In the meantime though, we are about to get goals here of the British Grand Prix. George just joining up at the back there, so we are about to go for 5 red lights here very, very shortly indeed. What a shocking camera angle that is. As soon as the lights go up, we'll change it. 5 red lights then, about to go out on the home of British Motorsport. Round 5 of the TTL FL Championship is lights down, away we go, and Sinclair gets a very good start, bogging down off the start. Bishy further down, and in fact Sinclair losing the traction off the corner, and White has got the lead into turn 1. There's contact in the background, plenty of guys running wide, but White has got that break. Sage is up to second, Sinclair down to third. May's leaving the session, he's joined too late, sadly his car now out on track. Plenty of drivers going wide, and Maximus braking very early there. I think Bishy nearly went into the back of him halfway down the field. Suarez is on the back of Siege, he's got Sinclair and the outside that was at entry. Lyronix now on the back of Sinclair running down into Brooklands. Got Red Bull at the back slowing, that was S. Graham just going side by side with Alan Kay there, but White has got that break. As I said, TTG White, he loves to get these breaks on the opening laps, and he's already 1.2 seconds ahead and has pulled away from Siege. Next is Suarez in third, Sinclair in fourth, Lyronix in fifth, Crazy Legs in sixth. Both Alphas going strong early on, 6th and 7th as they run through Cops for the first time. Sinclair all over the back of Suarez, and in fact Suarez all over the back of Siege as well. We have seen plenty of contact through here, and in fact contact made. Charlie must have spun out with Jeffrey. There's been a little bit of contact there further down the field. Sinclair is all over the back of Suarez. They go side by side now down the hanger straight, and in fact the better run off the corner there for Sinclair, and he's got back up to third. Good move there by the Scotsman, and he is up the inside and down the straight on next to Suarez, who's now got to think about Lyronix in behind him, who will go deep into this race. But at the end of lap 1, it is White who leads the way with 1.1 seconds gap. Siege in second, Sinclair in third. White has set the fastest lap of the race, of course. We've seen a move PNG jumping up to 8th place. Position gains from lap 1. That's the wrong one. Position changes from lap 1. Jeffrey into the pits. We've got 6 positions gained for George. We have got PNG, in fact, has spun at turn 1, that is. Bit of contact with somebody maybe, I didn't catch that sadly, but White is out in front, 9/10 of a second. He's just got to manage his tyres effectively now to make sure that he tries to go as long as possible on that set of softs. Siege in second, only a second off. We've got side-by-side action though in the meantime. Going around the outside, Bishy on Maximus, round the outside of Brooklands. Great move there by the McLaren. Bishy round the outside, gets the inside line down into Luffield. Fantastic move, and Maximus was outdone there. And the medium compound of tyres clearly working for Bishy. Great move round the outside of Brooklands, and he is up to P8. P8, 16.6 seconds separating the top 15 out on track. There is everyone's tyres. I do like to mess up things on my right hand side with the spectator menu. But again, White has just pulled out a little bit more of a gap. He stabilised that gap at around a second. Siege not gaining. Of course, no DRS enabled until the next lap around. The DRS, of course, will be enabled down the Wellington Straight, down towards Brooklands and Luffield at the end of Sector 1. Well, at the end of lap 2, White still stabilises that gap at 1.1 seconds. Siege in second, Sinclair in third, who has got closer over this last couple of laps. Siege, in fact, in a faster lap than White with a 31.3, going about a tenth quicker than White. Can't really change the difference, though, in the meantime. Can't really tell the difference, though, in the meantime, with that gap stabilising between first and second. Sinclair in third. He's all over the back of him, of course, DRS enabled. We should see some overtakes getting done. George looking very close to Uzi further down the field. That's for 10th place and for the final point. Sinclair not close enough this time. You've got to be within, I think, 2.5, 3 tenths really if you want to try and get a move done, and that's exactly what Lyronics is trying to do. Suarez has dropped back off Sinclair, and Lyronics is all over the back of him now. The German on the Spaniard, all over the back of him as they run down towards Cops. He has got the straight line speed. Sinclair getting very close to Siege there, just in the foreground of shot as they flew through shot at Cops. And in fact, Sinclair is all over the back of him. Let's go back to the battle with the second and third. And Siege looking good through Mackett and Beckett's, taking a much neater line there than Sinclair, just losing a little bit of time on the Scotsman. And of course the pole setter will be trying to get this move done, and I think it's going to be moved done. Down the inside goes Sinclair, and that is for second place, down on the inside of Stowe. He's already got the move done. Lyronics is down the inside of Stowe as well on Suarez. Great move if he can pull this off. He just forces them off track as they go side by side out of Stowe, and Lyronics, I think, has got that move done. Suarez lets him go by, so Lyronics is up to fourth. Fantastic stuff, and Bishy has gone past Conti Boy in the meantime as well. Bishy has gone past Conti Boy. That was through Stowe, so 3 overtakes seen through Stowe there. Siege is all over the back of Sinclair, not letting him get away. And speaking of getting away, White is out in front. 1.4 seconds that gap, and that is bridged out very nicely early on. With Sinclair in second, Siege in third, Lyronics in fourth, and Suarez in fifth. The current top 5, lap 4 out of 26. Are we going to see a possible move for Siege? Not running ERS down the straight. There is a yellow flag in sector 1, however, and PNG is off. PNG is off, and that is again at turn 1. Most hated corner on the track for him, as we see Maximus trying to go around the outside on Conti board. This is for 8th place, all the way around the outside. This is at Luffield. Can he pull it off? Maximus just about got his car ahead, but he goes side by side now through into Cops, and he has got that move done. And I think Conti Boy lynching that fact, trying to go back up his inside, but Maximus hanging around the outside has got that move done. Good clean racing there from both of them, and Maximus has got that move done. He's up to 8th. Suarez then getting close to Lyronics, who hasn't pulled away from him. He's not getting any closer to Siege either at this stage. 1.5 seconds separating the battle for the lead between White and Sinclair. But yeah, Lyronics not really gaining much on Siege, as I think we're going to see Conti Boy closing back in on Maximus further down the order. We're coming back on that in just a while I'll talk about this. Lyronics, again, not getting away. 1.6 seconds the gap. He is just edging away from Suarez now. Of course, the soft compound tyres will start to ebb away very shortly indeed. There's not really many battles going on out on track. Charlie is on the back of Alan Kay. This is for 13th place at this stage. He threw the final corner. Did he get him? Of course, the DRS straight has been removed, and he gets a 3-second time penalty. And I mean, I've caught that on stream, and that's a 3-second time penalty. Come on. Absolute joke. Absolute joke. Hopefully that gets sent in for pseudo investigations, as PNG gets a 5-second stop goal for speeding in the pit lane. Of course, he has to serve that as well. But back to Suarez and Lyronics. 0.4 of a second separating. 0.5 of a second now. Suarez not getting any closer. It doesn't look like he's got the straight line speed. And back to Charlie and Alan K we go, as Charlie has completed that move down the inside of Brooklands. It was predictable. He was going to get that move done. He has got that move done. Now it's down the inside at Brooklands. And in fact, have we just missed a mistake from Suarez, possibly? We have. Suarez has made a mistake on the out of, on what I think was at Cops. I think Suarez has had a bit of a half spin moment, or just a loss of the back end. And Lyronix has gained, all of a sudden, about a second on Suarez. Difficult to understand what happened there, but I think he's lost it, probably around the outside at thingy. And in fact, Uzi down the inside. George trying to get him around the outside at Stoll. They make contact slightly. George not giving up this position at all. And in fact, he's trying to gain the position as Charlie is back up the inside of Alan Kay. In fact, Alan Kay was fighting back. So much going on, I can't really keep up. George on the back of Uzi for 10th place. Is he going to get him down the inside at turn 1? But a lag being kicked in there, and he has got the move done. George gets the move done, but he just over-races the corner slightly, and he's taking a flat out, and he just loses the position there to S. Graham as well, which is not fantastic stuff. White in the meantime, 7 tenths. 8 tenths of a gap. White leading from Sinclair in second. We are about approach around a quarter ways distance here. If we're already not there, we are, yeah, we're nearly quarter ways through the race. And it's currently TTG White who leads the way from Sinclair. He has got the break, of course. Sinclair recovering well after his slow start, getting that bogged down off the start there from Sinclair. Not sure what happened, maybe just not releasing the clutch in time. We'll have to find out what happened there. But White leads by a second. He has got DRS though, Sinclair. He will begin to close in down the straight, but it's not going to be good enough. S. Graham in the meantime has picked up a 3-second time penalty. In fact, they're just on the run through Maggots and Beckett's now. George has picked up a 3-second time penalty there as well. Uzi will defend this position down the straight, down the hanger straight. They go. And Uzi and S. Graham, 7 tenths of a gap separating at this stage. Let me just check on board with the comment section. I'm going to go back on board with the battle for the lead while we do with this. I just want to see how everyone is enjoying the race so far. Ivan saying, come on Alan, let's take a few points for Ferrari. And nice to watch an F1 stream that's got clean racing. You don't get that in any other league, Storm, especially some of the ones that you're in. Tio's in the making and still getting error messages, says Mays. And Dill Warren, very impressive performance last night. If you didn't watch TTL F1, which I didn't last night, I've got to be honest, go and watch it back, because I caught the stream and it was an absolutely fantastic race. And Dill Warren, brand new driver to the league, absolutely fantastic performance in second place, and he looked all over some of these guys that competed. And I think it was White that took that last night, if I do recall, in TTL F1. Go and watch that back. Why would you watch it now while we've got live action going on here at the home of British Motorsport in Silverstone? We're on lap 7 out of 26, and the battle for the lead is hotting up because Sinclair is all of the back of White now, only 4.5 tenths separating, and I think Sinclair down the straight could get him here. He is closing in. I don't think he's going to be close enough down the end of the straight. Maybe if he just had a bit of a higher 8th gear, which might have gained him a little bit of speed, a lower 8th gear I should say, gain him a little bit of speed. But Sinclair all of the back of White. Watch out for Siege getting involved in this as well. Siege will get involved in this for sure. These two start battling out on track. 3 tenths of a second separating, as I say. Lap 8 out of 26 begins. White, Sinclair, Siege still your top 3. Lyronix in 4th. Suarez has dropped away quite considerably from Lyronix now. 3.9 seconds, now up to 4 seconds. Crazy Legs begins to close in that gap. Bishy having a good race there in 7th. Position gains at this stage are as follows. 5 positions gained for Bishy, and he has joined top as we're going to see Sinclair down the inside of Brooklands. Sinclair trying to edge it down the inside of Brooklands on White. White will defend the inside line here at Lovefield and just force them. Switch back down the inside for Sinclair. They might be side by side running down towards Cops. This is very good action here between the top 2. And White and Sinclair, this is the battle we wanted to see last week in France. We were robbed of it slightly, but White defends our position into Cops and keeps the lead. But for how long? Because Sinclair is breathing down his neck. He is breathing down that rear exhaust of TTG White at this stage. They come out of Beckett's now, down the hanger straight, and Sinclair is all over the leader. He should get the move done now around the outside, down the straight. Sinclair is into P1. The Scotsman and everyone in Scotland that I might be watching is celebrating because Sinclair is up to P1 and looking for back-to-back wins here in TTFL. But knowing White, he won't come in lightly. S. Graham is out of the race. Siege is into the pits and a VSC has been deployed. Perfect for Siege coming into the pits. Absolute perfection timing now. Siege essentially getting a free pit stop. This is going to really hurt Sinclair and White. We could be seeing Siege come the end of this race winning by considerable margin. We'll have to wait out and see how the race pans out. A set of mediums goes on for Siege. He can get that comfortably, I think, to the end. 17 laps is possible. We are seeing plenty into the pits. Suarez is into the pits. Crazy Legs into the pits. The Alphas are going to be double stacking, however, though, as Crazy Legs and Conti Boy are in. Drive-through penalty for Alan Kay for speeding into the safety car. And Conti Boy, yeah, he's going to be held up in the pits. Just a couple of seconds extra there. Probably a second or two extra. Conti Boy out of the pits. Any gains in the pit stop? Suarez will be coming out in 8th place. Alan Kay has stayed out, and Suarez has got out just ahead of him. So Suarez out just ahead of him. That would be good news for Suarez. We're back underway. The VSC has ended, and White leads the way from Sinclair. Leads the way from White, and Lyronix has gained a lot of time. He's gained a second, I think, under this VSC restart. Lyronix has gained a second under this VSC restart. Very impressive stuff from the German. That leg surgery that he had earlier on in the week, a long distant memory, because he is now beginning to run all over the leaders. This is going to prove quite interesting. Siege, by the way, is out in 7th place. Look at the leading gap, 25.4 seconds. Remember that gap, because that was at the start of the beginning. And it's White coming into the pits first. Sinclair was thinking about coming into the pits, but it is White, in fact, that does decide to come into the pit, and that is from P2. 10 out of 26. We are nearly, well, we are pretty much nearly at halfway now. We're on lap 26. Halfway comes in about 3 laps time. Hopefully everyone enjoying the action so far. There is a thunderstorm coming here, by the way, so if my power gets knocked off, then I do apologise. But Sinclair in the way about 1.6 seconds. Lyronix in 2nd, Bishy now into 3rd, Maximus in 4th. Where is White going to come out in relation to Siege? George is ahead of him. This is going to help Siege, I think, and Siege is going to be ahead of him. Siege is ahead of him by a considerable margin. I think that might be around 3 seconds as Siege is up the inside of George, making no mistakes at all there and no messing about. And it's a 5-second gap roughly. It's a 4-second gap. 4-second gap between Siege and White coming out the pit. So Siege has jumped White. In relation to Sinclair, I think he's going to get him by about 3 seconds. In theory, he should get him by about 3 seconds here. So very interesting stuff. And it's now beginning to come into more tactical game out on track. Back to the lead, and Sinclair 1.3 seconds out in front. We are seeing, I think Alan Kay has just came into the pits there. Charlie is out ahead of him, and they were very close together in the VSC, so not really a shock to see. Sinclair's in. Lyronix doesn't come in, of course. He's on a set of medium compound of tyres. There as everyone stops. We're still waiting for pit stops from Lyronix, Sinclair, Bishy, Maximus, George, and Alan Kay is still at the pit as well. Imagine he comes in. Lyronix, new fastest lap of the race on a wearing set of mediums. Good, impressive, quite impressive stuff there. But of course, Siege on a fresher set should absolutely hammer that lap time in quite considerably. And it's looking good for Sinclair. Where is Siege in relation to this? Maximus is into the pit as well. Siege now coming through Club, the final corner. Sinclair is there. I think this is going to be very close. This is going to be very close. I think though Siege has got to get him. That was his car just roaring past, and Siege has got him. Siege has got him, and he's up into the net battle. He's into the net lead, and there is White, in fact, as well. White and Sinclair side by side, and White has jumped him. White has jumped him. It's tragedy. The VSC coming to an end. The VSC coming in time for Siege has absolutely ruined the tactics from Sinclair, but he's now all over the back of White as they come down the hangers up. They come down the Wellington straight. Surely he's not going to go around the outside of Brooklands. This is impressive stuff if he does, but White defends that position. He defends it well. Sinclair, no way of getting past. He's on a fresher set of tyres, but at this stage, Siege has got all the answers. 3.7 seconds. Our VSC, as I said, coming out perfectly for him. Sinclair, though, all over the back of White at this stage. 2 tenths separating as they go through Copse. on lap 11 out of 26. We're still expecting stops, by the way, from Lyronix, Fishy and Siege. Of course, if they don't stop, then they'll be getting disqualified. But White and Sinclair. Sinclair all over the back now of White. 3/10 on the exit of Beckett and through the Chapel curve. 2.5 tenths. He's closing in again. He doesn't look like he's got the straight line speed. And into the braking zones, carrying, I think Sinclair maybe carrying less than 5 mile an hour extra compared to White there. In terms of ERS, 48% for White and 45% for Sinclair, so not much in that as well. This is going to prove quite interesting for the net battle per second as White sets a new fastest lap of the race and demolishes that time set by Lyronix. It was a 30.8, now it's 30.5 the lap time. Sinclair now through there's a yellow flag in sector 2, sector 3. I'll hazard a guess it was Alan Kay. It is Alan Kay. That is spun. Back to the battle for second though. Or battle for fourth out on track. This is for net seconds, as I say. Alan Kay will be overtaken soon by PNG. He doesn't get that car out the grass. But Sinclair trying to go deeper line through on White. Looking quite close. Looking quite close indeed. As I say, yellow flag in sector 3 and PNG. Oh, it's a safety car! Safety car is out on track! If this race couldn't get any more dramatic, there's now a safety car out on track. Now, what do the guys do that have just pitted? Siege, White and Sinclair, Suarez, Crazy Legs, Maximus. What do they all do at this stage? Lyronix comes into the pits. And I think, is he going to be out in the lead of this race? Watch out for the timings. Keep an eye out on the timings. This could be very interesting. Lyronix could get out in front of Siege. I think it's unlikely, but he could. Then at a racing point, Crazy Legs has got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. Somebody else did as well, if I do recall. Unless he's got 2 drive-throughs. Unless that was just a non-existent thing. But Lyronix is in. Siege just came into the pits. White and Sinclair have not came into the pits. Quite interesting. But Lyronix is going to be out in front. So Lyronix on a soft compound of tyre, bit of a different call there for Lyronix, but he is miles out in front, coming out under the safety car restart. Of course, it'll all be stretched out for him. Hopefully Lyronix will have the fresh rubber. He will have the fresh rubber. He's on a set of softs. He should be getting the pull away. That is a good tactical decision there from Lyronix, I think. Whether he can get those tyres to the end is another thing. Siege into the pits responds, by the way, to Lyronix. He's on a set of softs, and Siege is going to be out in traffic, is he? No, he's not. He's just out ahead of Maximus. Just out ahead of Maximus, and he's out in 5th place. So that is good, relatively, because he's got Bishy ahead of him on a set of hards, and then Sinclair and White on a set of mediums. He'll be looking to make progress quite early on in. Uzi and Jeffrey are into the pits as well. Wouldn't be surprised if any of these decide to go for a set of softs or hards, and Jeffrey into the pits. Pit crew very, very slow to respond there. Very slow to respond, and in fact they were so slow that they've missed the pit stop. GG, Cordies. GG. Fantastic stuff. See what you guys are saying. The safety car has really changed it up. Yeah, Recon saying softs. I'm questioning that decision as well. Can he get those tyres to the end? I'm also questioning some of the decisions made further down the field as well. Siege, Suarez and Crazy Legs especially on a set of softs as well. Can they get those tyres to the end? Hopefully. Of course, under the safety car, if it's 2 laps, then the tyre wear will decrease by around 3 to 5%. I've noted that down as. So we are halfway through. Safety car is out on track, and if you're just tuning in, why would you be tuning in at this stage? We're halfway through the race. You've missed quite a lot already, and you're going to miss even more because it's under a safety car restart coming up. Lyronix, White, Sinclair, your top 3 at this stage. Storm coming in and saying the safety car is now going to turn the race into who's got the best strategy. And I totally agree. That's what I've said in the section as well. I'm not sure what is going on with Conti Boy, Suarez, Maximus and Crazy Legs there. Not sure what was going on there at all between them. Changing positions left, right and centre. And if anybody is interested, by the way, in Premier League football, and I know some of you are, Liverpool are winning 4-0 against Norwich at half-time. Just thought I'd mention that. 4-0 at half-time for Liverpool. Very impressive stuff from Liverpool, if I've got to say so myself. And of course, they're Champions League winners. And I can boast a little bit by saying my family is from Liverpool, or half from Liverpool. So yeah, there we go. There you go. Bit of an update there on that side. And I do apologise, by the way, about my voice. I have been battling a very bad sore throat yesterday. A really bad sore throat yesterday. And I didn't think I'd be able to make it tonight, but I have. I have, and I'm very glad that I have made it as well. Which is fantastic stuff. Right. Safety car should be coming in this lap, on lap 14 out of 26. And the safety cars, I say, should be coming in, but we have got a few that are not joining on. Alan Kay getting lapped there by Jeffrey. So we should see safety car come in this lap. We should see it, a message pop up on the bottom coming through Chapel Curve onto Beckett. It's normally at the bridge section, but I'm not sure if it's going to come in because Jeffrey and PNG are off the back end. Will we get the safety car coming in this lap? I think it might be another lap, you know. Yeah, I think it might be another lap for the safety car here, and in fact, if it was going to go out, then it will go out way before this point. There's a pit lane there, so it's not even going to come in. So we have got another lap under the safety car. Ironic's getting very close there to the safety car. Goodness me. Don't want to be doing that. Do you not want to be doing that at all? Oh. As lap 15 out of 26 begins, again still under the safety car, and Ironics is out in front from White Sinclair. There's going to be no changes to the order unless somebody gets overtaken. The safety car, as I say, should be coming in this lap. And yeah, well, Ironics should have the strategy, I think, but I'm just a bit concerned. Bishy on a set of hards is one to watch out for, if I've got to be honest. If he holds up if he holds up Siege, it might bring Suarez into play, and possibly Maximus and Crazy Legs as well. Just watch out for that in the second half of this race. As I say, Ironics, White, Sinclair, your top three at this stage. And again, nothing really going to happen and going to change under the safety car. Again, I do apologise about my terrible, terrible voice. I haven't got a drink beside me. I should have really done that. We're going to struggle on together. We will struggle on together. Right. We better get back going again under the safety car. Alan Kay just off the back end, but nothing to write home about there. And we should get back underway. Take from Ironica's point of view into the safety car. Give him plenty of room to the safety car. About a car's length there. Like about 2, maybe 3 cars length there as well. And he is predicting that the safety car is going to come in this lap. I'm also predicting that the safety car is going to come in this lap, and it will come in this lap. So Ironics will begin to back up the pack down the down the hangar straight, I should say. We should see, this is where we normally get a 5-second stop-go penalty for anybody that's thinking. Ironics not flooring it yet, but he has put up his ERS and he's about to go. I think it'll be after Stowe, he'll go. We're about to get going here once again. The home of British Motorsport. We're going to have 10 laps to the flag, and Ironics floors it. Ironics has floored it, and he's got the gap, 3.5 tenths. White trying to get a little bit of heat into those tyres. Not happy, bit of a lock-up from Ironics, but he's got the brake, and we should see that gap now begin to extend out. We are through the end of the safety car period, and we're back underway, and Ironics leads the way, and he's got that brake, 7/10 of a second. White is getting pressurised by Sinclair for second. Suarez has got Conti Boy under the restart. Suarez is up to 6th. Very good restart from him, and I'm not sure what's happened further on down the field, but the top 5 have got away. Conti Boy and Crazy Legs have a little bit of contact there as well. Maximus running out wide, getting a little bit close in the midfield. Charlie, everyone keep it clean. Jeffrey is at the race as well. Jeffrey is at the race. Will be a safety car. We'll find out. Uzi has got Charlie down the inside at entry, but Ironics has got that break. 1.1 seconds. White in second, Sinclair in third, Bishy in fourth, Siege in fifth. And those guys have broken away. They're under the from the safety car restart. We have a little bit of contact, I think, further down. PNG is off of Luffield. Ironics leads the way. 1.2 seconds. White in second, Sinclair in third. Very dodgy restart, I've got to be honest, from sixth downwards, especially from that guy in sixth, who I think misjudged the safety car start actually happening. There is a yellow flag in sector 2, I think it'll be PNG, it is. Siege is down the inside on Bishy, round the outside in fact, going into Stowe. Bishy down the inside, and Bishy is hanging on. He's just about hanging on there. Siege trying to go around the outside. Not quite. All of this though letting Ironics get away. It's 1.5 seconds that gap. And Ironics leads. Up 17 out of 26, but Siege is all over the back. Down the inside, possibly at turn 1. Bishy's got to give him the room. Got to give him the room side by side through turn 1, and Bishy hangs around the outside. Bold stuff from the McLaren driver. Siege all over the back of him, goes late down into turn 3. Not quite. Going around the loop now, and Bishy holds on. Bishy holding on, defending well. Well, Ironics is out in front, 1.8 seconds. White in second, Sinclair in third. That battle for second will get going, but Siege all over the back of Bishy. He's got to have to drive it somewhere down the inside. Bishy's over the corner at Brooklands, and Siege is through. Siege is up to P4. Now he can put the hammer down and try and catch White and Sinclair. Tyres might not be on his side though. Begins to pull away from Bushy in the meantime. Suarez has got a lot closer to Bishy in the meantime after Siege getting held up. That battle has brought him into play. But the battle for second heating up. White and Sinclair, 3 seconds. Ironics has got that break. It's now 2 seconds. 2.1. That gap is just going to keep increasing over the next couple of laps, and it is going to be very, very interesting to see. Can Ironics get those tyres to the end is the main concern at this stage. Safety car, though, I think probably would have helped there. Gonna have to manage his tyres so well. After managers tire so well. We've got George and Conti Boy. Oh, and there's contact. There's contact. George just leaving him no room at all, and he's spun himself. In fact, I think might be game over for him. For George, he's got PNG behind him. There is that yellow flag in second group. That is for him. Shame for a little bit of contact there, but I think just a little bit of room not given. Crazy Legs is into the pits. Not confident that he can get on a set of socks to the end. So Crazy Legs into the pits. George is also into the pits. Presumably with damage, as we've got Suarez all over the back of Bishy in the meantime for 6th. We have got Sinclair all over the back of White for 2nd as well. Let's just focus on this and then use the options that we've got to us on the left hand, on the right hand side of my screen, and spectator menu to flick through. Oh, well, Ironics has got that gap, 2.4 seconds. Not really putting out the gap eccentrically. Suarez those all over the back of Bishy, and he's going to go down the inside of Cops. Is he? The Spaniard down the inside. Bishy runs wide, and he's got the move done. Suarez down the inside. That little mistake from Bishy was all that needed. Suarez to get through, and he's up to P5. Good stuff. Bishy picks up a 3-second time penalty while he's as well. Back to the battle for second. Sinclair now all over the back of White, trying to go round the outside at Stowe. Going to be brave stuff. He'll go switch back down the inside, but White is hanging on and defending like an absolute tiger at this stage. But it's letting Ironics get away a bit. Bishy has got back past Suarez in the meantime, and in fact, I think it's Suarez but actually trying to get back past Bishy. Very interesting, but lap 19 out of 26. New fastest lap for Siege, who begins to close in on White and Sinclair. PNG has been passed by Crazy Legs in the meantime. On lap 19 out of 26, as I say, and Ironics leading from White in second, Sinclair in third, Siege in fourth, Bishy fifth, Suarez in sixth, Maximus, Charlie, Uzi, Conti Boy are top 10, then it's Crazy Legs, PNG, George into the pits as well, on 13. In 13th, and Alan Kay already lapped by the main protagonist. As Sinclair trying to go down the inside of Brooklands. That was a bit of a cheeky late one there from Sinclair, trying to get back past Scotsman. And Suarez, oh, round the outside! Suarez round the outside, it's side by side out of left field between Bishy and Suarez. He could have pulled that off, and that would have been a fantastic move if he tried to pull that off. He could still get it done down the inside of Cops. A little bit of contact made. Suarez just moving into him, I think, slightly there. There was a lot of room. Might feel hard done by that. Looks like a racing incident. To me, is Siege has spun. Siege has a half spin on the exit of Beckett. And Sinclair's all over the back of White. It's all kicking off in the second half of the race here in TTFL. Lyronix leading, White in second, Sinclair in third. But how close is Sinclair now? Surely not on the outside into the club section. He's going to have the inside line. Sinclair giving him perfect room given by White, and he somehow defends it well. White defending like an absolute lion. He is defending essentially second place at this stage. It's fantastic stuff to see. White is giving everything out on track. He is leaving it all out on track, but unfortunately for him, it's allowing Lyronix to get away, and that gap is now 4.2 seconds. So Lyronix could argue now he might have this race at his mercy. White and Sinclair in the meantime, second and third, and Sinclair now all over the back of White, trying to go down the inside, and he should get him done now, down the inside of Brooklands. He dives it down the inside, fantastic stuff. White around the outside, though, on the field, there's contact made. Sinclair just overrun it slightly. White can't even get my words out. White, I think, could have just given him a little bit more room again. I might just need looking into. Hopefully that might be put into the stewards. Don't think there's much in that. White, I think, would have got the move done, if I've got to be honest. A little bit of contact made, but that's all it takes to unsettle the driver and unsettle the car. And in fact, Sinclair just sliding it through nicely through Beckett there in the meantime. Maggots and Beckett. George is out. Crazy Legs is out as well. And there's another safety car. I can't believe this. There's another safety car out on track. What do the guys do now? We've had two safety cars in a VSC. There is George stricken. Lyronix is in. Lyronix is in. White is in. Sinclair not going in. Siege not going in. Bishy, is he going to come in? No, he's not. Oh, he is. Bishy comes in. So Bishy is in. Maximus is in. Charlie coming in. Yeah, Maximus is in. Charlie not coming in. Uzi is coming in. Entry somehow open. We're going to have about a 3-lap dash, which is fantastic. Quincy Boy's in as well. What is going to happen now? Of course, safety car restart. Sinclair and Siege, I highly expect that they've messed it up. I think they've messed it up here. And Sinclair, the safety car, has picked them up. Everyone into the pits. Lyronix will be out in fourth. Charlie is ahead of him in third, and he could be looking for points finish now, which is absolutely unbelievable considering this race has turned on its head in a matter of seconds, quite literally once again. And there's another safety car out on track. Goodness me, safety car driver will be getting paid overtime to do this, honestly. I've 21 out of 26, and this is the time where we can actually reflect a little bit. Sinclair out in front from Siege, Charlie in third, but the main story is 2 out of the top 3 have came in. Lyronix and White have came in. They've decided to go on a soft compound of tyres. Easily will make it to the end. They'll be fresh to the end as well. If Lyronix and White can get past Charlie very early on, whenever the safety car comes in, on what lap I don't know, but when it does, and if they get him, Lyronix and White will be will be P1 and P2, I think, by the end of this race. Absolutely unbelievable stuff. It's been insane. Last 2-3 laps they will fight, I think. They've got to fight. If they want to, it's just absolutely fantastic. Sinclair and Siege have made a mistake. Yeah, I totally agree on that as well. I think Sinclair and Siege have made a mistake. Man oh man, I'll have to sign for TTFL again because this is amazing. It's always when I normally get very boring commentaries. But when I get a good one, like tonight, I'm very happy. I'm very glad that we have got a fantastic race to unfold in the last 5 laps. We should have everyone possibly on the back of the safety car. I would say it'll be a 3-lap dash. I think it'll be lap 24 for the safety car to come in. Or end of lap 23 on to 24, I should say. There. Absolute madness. Now, people that may be new to TTFL, come and watch us next week. I can't promise a race like this, but trust me, the racing here in TTG, absolutely fantastic stuff. And it's a shame that Maze has missed out on it all tonight after his disconnect, which is a shame, due to an error code of some sort apparently there as well, which is a shame. Oh, fasten up on your seatbelts again, tuck in, because this is going to be a fantastic end to what has been a crazy, crazy race here in Silverstone. It's been absolutely fantastic, this race, honestly. Probably one of the best I've seen in a long time in TTFL, certainly in TTFL. Just absolutely fantastic stuff. And I'm very glad to bring the action to you here tonight. Oh, as I say, get prepared, because honestly, I'm breathless. Drivers out on track are probably breathless. Your viewers are going to be breathless. We'll see if the safety car will come in this lap. I don't think it will, because Suarez is only at cops. So it's highly unlikely that the safety car will come in. Of course, it came up this time last lap. Safety car has powered on, in fact. And we are going to wait for Suarez. There he is, just flying through the shot there at Maggots and Beckett. So we're going to be waiting another lap for him to come in. Sinclair getting very close to the safety car. Of course, if you do hit the safety car, you will run the risk of getting disqualified. Everyone, I think, knows that by now. Bishy and White. Oh, what's going on there? What has gone on there? I think there's been a bit of a concertina. What on earth has happened here? What on earth has happened here? Maximus 5-second time penalty, and a safety car coming in this lap. PNG's retired. What the hell has gone on? Continue on this lap, guys, because seriously, the safety car has came in this lap and has probably messed up this race. Continue at flat speed. Go. Just follow the safety car. Follow the safety car, because it will come in. It will come in. It's going to come in this lap, I will say so. The lights have gone out on the safety car. This is a glitch I've seen before, so trust me on this one, guys. And just stay behind the safety car, and then just prepare for a safety car restart at the end of lap 23 onto 24. This race couldn't get even crazier. It just has. I mean, unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable, this. Oh. Goodness me. Driver of the day at the moment, Lyronix. Liam and May is calling for a restart. Goodness me. Calling for a restart with 3 laps to go of probably one of the craziest races. And I've got to be honest, we've had some really clean racing here tonight as well. It's been fantastic to watch. I'm sure the viewers have been picking up on this as well. Storm saying the stream is lacking. Yeah, there is a thunderstorm, or what I think is a thunderstorm, overhead right now. Storm saying I'm doing an awesome job with commentary, thank you very much. Recon says I give the best commentary on this platform. You don't have to be too kind to us, I mean, come on. I've only been doing this a year. Think of it that way, I've only been doing this a year, and I'm pretty much marking my 6-month anniversary as part of TTG next week. So, what better way to celebrate it with this brilliant race? And come and find me tomorrow for League of Europe as well. I'll put out on Twitter the stream link where you are going to be following. But we are about to go racing here once again. The safety car will come in this lap. Sinclair not going to flow. He slows the pack down now. Slows the pack down now. Charlie and Lyronix getting quite close to each other. And I don't want to be Constantina. And I can't believe it. Sinclair off track. Oh, and he's on a 5-place grid penalty. 5-second penalty. Severe collision with Siege. That's what you get under what is a terrible safety car restart. Charlie hasn't gone as well. Lyronix and White. Oh, what on earth has happened here? Oh, you know, this is unbelievable. Lyronix down the inside of White. He has to let him through. Bishy has been passed by White as well. But we are back underway. 3-lap dash, and Sinclair and Siege all of a sudden, after Charlie's absolute tragic restart, has now possibly given them the win. Unbelievable. White and Bishy have got to get past Charlie now, and Charlie is not going to be happy with that. He's going to let his teammate through. Bishy ran the outside of him. He gets through. He's past Charlie. What mad restart that is. Probably one of the weirdest ones I've ever seen. But now, Sinclair and Siege have got to do the holding on act. It is essentially the chasing the breakaway getting chased down by the peloton. That's how I'm likely to describe this race now. It is the breakaway getting caught by the peloton, which would be in the form of Lyronix, White and Bishy, it seems, as well, who have pulled away from Suarez. Uzi on the back of Suarez. Not quite. Charlie and Conti Boy going side by side into Cops. Charlie keeps that move nicely. 3 second time penalty there. And the exit of Cops for Conti Boy. Oh, I thought he was going to get past him there down the inside at Maggot. Oh, we trying to pull that off. Maximus still going. Good to see him. Still going. No spins tonight for Maximus. Touch wood, that is not going to happen again. But Sinclair leading 0.8 of a second. Siege in second. It is now going to be the catching game. Lyronix has closed a second on this lap. Another second, it'll be 0.5 to Siege. He's got to pull in the laps here. He has got to pull in the qualifying laps pretty much now until the end of the race to catch these guys. Sinclair and Siege, the breakaway, possibly one of the most luckiest victories I've ever seen. Alan Kay is off at the club section there. But honestly, predict your drive, put you down in the comments section who your driver of the day being, because there's quite a few now with how the rest has panned out. Sinclair, 9/10 separating on the final 2 laps. And my God, I deserve a break after this. Oh, we're going on lozenges and lemonade after this for sure. Sinclair, 9/10 clear of Siege. The gap is stabilised. Lyronix is still catching though. He has got to catch quicker. He has got to close in that gap quicker. It's only 4/10 getting this lap so far. Got Charlie and Conti Boy and Maximus battling, and Maximus is going to go past Conti Boy here, possibly down the inside. They're side by side into Maggots. They've got to back out. Oh, it's contact. Maximus, bit silly going for the move down the inside. They're never going to work out. I have seen a move pulled out there before. That was never going to work out. The entry angle was wrong there for Maximus. Racing incident, as I say. Unfortunate for Maximus and commentator's curse for me. Better go on to the final lap, and I think Sinclair is going to have this, you know. I'm going to quickly check the penalties. Sinclair has got a 5-second time penalty. 5-second time penalty for Siege. And Lyronix has got 2 warnings. So Lyronix is in pole position to take this now. With the 5 seconds getting added on at the end. So Sinclair, on the final lap, Sinclair leading the way, very fortunate to be out in front. Siege in second, very fortunate to be in second. If that was a clean restart, I think Lyronix, White and Bishy will be a lot closer to what they would be, and we would be having a 5-way battle for the win. There's no question about that. We will be having a 5-way battle for the win. Lyronix, though, wants to try and get this done out on track. Sinclair looking very shaky on the exit of Lovefield. Siege beginning to reel him in. Lyronix reeling him in at tenfold, though. He is beginning to close him in. He's got to eat up that ERS, though. He's closing him in. He wants to get this done out on track, and Lyronix has not done with yet. The German closing in on both leaders, Sinclair and Siege, as they run through Maggots and Beckett's for the final time. Sinclair and Siege are hanging on, but the peloton finally have caught up, and Lyronix is all over the back of Siege. I think Sinclair is going to get this win out on track. Lyronix is going to try and go for a very bold move. Is it going to be inside or outside at Siege? On Siege, round the outside at Stowe! Lyronix, what a move! What a move! 3-second time penalty picked up. I don't think he cares about that, but that is a fantastic move around the outside to end off this race. It's going to be Sinclair across the line to take the win. Lyronix is in second, but he takes it on merit with the penalties. Siege in third. What a dramatic end to that race. White in fourth, Bishy in fifth. Suarez in sixth, might lose that to Uzi. He doesn't. Charlie in eighth. Conti Boy jumps ahead of him. And Maximus after that contact, that silly move, I think, down the inside of Beckett's, comes across the line in 10th, and Alan Kay is going to be coming across the line in 11th as well, missing out on points for the Ferrari guys. What a mad race that was! Unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. Oh, podium celebrations will come up very shortly. And I'll run you through the order once again. As the music ends, we're going to get Los Toriados up on the podium, and Lyronix takes the win on penalties. Well, Ironics takes the win here in Silverstone. A German taking the victory in Britain doesn't rub well, I don't think, on us Brits. But anyways, he takes it on penalties at the end of the race, and here is the rundown of the grid. Any second now. So Ironics takes the win in TTFL in probably one of the most dramatic races I've ever commentated on. Absolute madness. Sinclair is second, Siege is third, White in fourth, Bishy in fifth, Suarez, Uzi, Constboy, Charlie, Maximus top 10, Alan K, PNG, George, Crazy Legs, Jeffrey and S. Graham. We all need a breath after that. Oh. Well, Ironics takes the win from Sinclair and Siege. And driver of the day for me, Sinclair. I'm going to give it to. I'm going to give it to Sinclair. Purely based on the fact that he did win that race out on track. Fortunate, but still he won. Oh my god. Driver of the day has to be Maze. Oh. There's only Sinclair with penalties. Yeah, I think picked up very late on. I think it was White that picked it up very late on. Oh, I'm out of breath. Drivers are out of breath. Everyone else is out of breath. I'm gonna end the stream here. Thank you very much for watching. If you do want to tune in for another commentary from me, it'll be League of Europe tomorrow night, 6:45. I will put the stream link up on my Twitter at B52head. In the meantime though, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.